Brand new camera just out from Sony. Have you guys seen this one yet? This is the ZV-e10 Mark II, and it could become the new standard for video bloggers and YouTubers. I'm gonna show you what comes inside the box. Check it before you wreck it. What's up, geeks? I'm Kirk, and here it is, the Sony ZV-e10 Mark II. So the previous model, the E10, was kind of a standard for a lot of YouTubers and video bloggers, and this could become the new standard. Sony basically took what was a great camera and jacked up the specs. A new sensor, a different lens. The question is, how does it compare? So let's get this over to the table. I'm gonna show you what comes inside the box.
There it is on the table. We've got the brand new camera from Sony, a pretty generic white box with the Sony logo on top. We've got a diagram of the camera and the lens because this is the kit, so it comes with the kit lens, the model name on the side there. This side's got the Sony Alpha logo, which I think you've come to recognize, and a typical warning here, a legal warning. On the other side, you've got a little bit of specs here. The E-mount, ZV-e10 Mark II, that's the camera model number. You've got the iPhone little logos there. You can see it says it's a lens 16 to 50 millimeter, 3.5 to 5.6. This is nothing interesting here. It does tell you that this is the black model because it does come in white as well. I will open up the box. Sony clearly not going for bonus points on the unboxing experience here. This is exactly what you'd expect from Sony, a very vanilla unbox experience, but that's okay. We know what we're getting, and that's what it's all about. So this looks like some sort of quick start guide. Yeah, so it says a startup guide, ZV-e10 Mark II startup guide, E-mount. It's got a QR code to get more information. Nobody looks at these. They know that. So scan the QR code. You can find out more information. Shows you how to put the battery in, how to charge the battery, how to attach the lens if you need to do that, how to start the camera up, turn the camera on. It talks about the different shooting modes, the button on the top that changes from still photo to video mode, shows you what that's all about. And then talks about using the windscreen. It's a little bit of a dead cat windscreen if you haven't seen this before. I'll show you that in a second as we get to that in the unboxing. All right, so we've got some more instruction manuals in here. What exactly is this? So this is a reference guide. Probably, again, something you're never going to look at. Looks like we've got the startup guide in a different language here, in French. We don't need that. And what is this? I'm guessing a warranty registration card. That it is. Scan the QR code. You can register your camera. This is actually printed on the cardboard itself. Just some more kind of legal jargon, legal mumbo jumbo that you're not going to be worried about. And then inside the box, we've got some items wrapped in like a little paper bag here. Although this is not wrapped up, this is the camera strap. If you've ever had a Sony camera before, it's got the Sony logo on it. Most cameras, Nikon, Canon, they'll come with some sort of strap. And this is a smaller camera, so obviously it's going to be a smaller strap than what you might get with a Nikon or a Canon. And looks like the battery here in this little, again, kind of a weird paperish little pouch. And yeah, this is a different battery than the ZV-e10, the first model. They went with the newer Z battery, so it's a bigger battery, should get you better battery lifetime. This is the NP-FZ100 battery pack. Again, better capacity, longer power than what they had with the previous E10 model. So that's kind of exciting. What's in here? I have no idea. This is literally a little paper like sleeve or a little paper envelope. All right, here it is. Oh, the dead cat. Dead mouse, I don't know, people call it all sorts of things. This is the windscreen cover. I'll show you that, how it connects to the camera later in the video. It's interesting. I think these are interesting. You know, once it's on there, you kind of just see it on the top and think, oh, that's weird. It's like hair for the camera. But it actually goes into the hot shoe mount and covers up the microphones. So again, I'll show you that in just a second. I'll set it aside in the meantime. And that's it. You've got this cardboard thing on the inside. You've got the cardboard box, and I will set this to the side. All right, we want to check out the camera, don't we? Isn't that why you came here in the first place? And look, there it is. The lens already attached. It comes like this in the box, the lens attached. The lens cover on the front of the camera there. Okay, taking a closer look at the camera. And you've got this 16 to 50 millimeter lens on the front. If you don't get the kit, of course, you won't get this camera lens on the front. But if you do get the kit, they connect it ahead of time, so you don't have to attach this. On the top, you've got the hot shoe. You've got the little microphone screen. You can see the details of the lens here, 16 to 50 millimeters. Again, there's the hot shoe. This is the microphone array. It's got a bunch of microphones in there. Let me show you that. While we're talking about the hot shoe, I'll show you exactly how this weird little windscreen works. So it literally slides into the hot shoe and then covers the microphones right next to it. See that? Isn't that weird? I think it's weird looking. Kind of looks like minion hair or something like that. It's like somebody who didn't comb their hair and just woke up and walked out the door. That's what it looks like to me, but must be effective because they've used this multiple times on multiple cameras. All right, so you've got your switch that switches between still photos, movie, and S and Q mode. You've got your record video button right there. You've got a wheel here for making adjustments, and then on the end, you've got this little defocus background button, which is useful if you're shooting video blogs and such. So you've got zoom in, zoom out. You've got your power on, power off, and of course your shutter button right there in the middle for taking still photos. And I'll take you around the camera. We'll start with the left side here. You've got your SD card slot inside one compartment, so that's all by itself. In the top compartment, you've got a USB-C port for charging and data transfer, as well as your microphone port. So it's a mini jack microphone port, pretty standard, and should work with most microphones you're going to buy. And then you've got a little HDMI port and a headphone jack. So you've got all your connectors, and they're all on the left-hand side of the camera here. Should be pretty easy to use. If you want to listen to audio, that's important to have a headphone jack as well as a microphone jack. And on the other side, we've got nothing. It's nice and blank. On the other side, of course, that's where your battery is. So I'll open this up, show you the battery compartment. Let me grab the battery, and I'll show you how this slides in. See that little blue thing there? If you've never used one of these before, you got to angle the battery in the right way so it presses that blue thing out of the way when you put the battery in, and then it'll slide right in. That blue latch keeps the battery in there. So Info Lithium Z, you can see the open and the lock mode. You've got some Sony specs on the bottom, the model number, as well as your 1/4-inch tripod mount, very standard tripod mount on the bottom. We'll take you to the back now. You've got your menu button, your function button, your control wheel with the button in the middle for selecting. You've got a play button for bringing up photos or videos you've just recorded, and you've got a trash button, and then the fold out screen. Not much inside there. In fact, nothing inside there, but the screen swivels. It folds out. If you've never seen the Sony cameras that do this, this is how they work. And you're going to keep the screen probably facing backwards for the most part. On the front, you've got this little tiny baby lens cap, and you take that off, and you've got the lens. You know, there's the lens cap. It really is a little tiny itty-bitty lens cap because it's a small lens. I mean, this is a smaller camera than a full-size SLR, so that lens cap just kind of clips on the inside of the lens here. Now, this is the 16 to 50 millimeter lens. It's a standard kit lens. It's got the zoom in and out button on the side. It's got a ring around the front that you can use to adjust focus. Pretty decent kit lens, it looks like, for an extra $100 compared to buying the body only. What I want to do for you now is power the camera on and show you what happens when you first start this camera up. Which language? Well, we're going to pick English. We'll move on from that. Do you want to set accessibility functions for the screen reader, etc.? Not now. We're going to skip through that. Privacy notice, of course, I understand. Here it's telling you can use the Creators app on your phone to set this up. I'm not going to do this now, but you can do that if you prefer to use your phone. You can set the location, the date, the time. Of course, you want this to be accurate. If you use the app on your phone, it'll do this for you automatically. But if you do this on the camera, you're going to have to set it manually. All right, now it's asking me if I want to worry about the high temperature warning when I've got this on a tripod if you're shooting video. So essentially you're saying, okay, I want to change this setting so that it doesn't turn the camera off if it gets too hot on a tripod. Do I understand the Creators app? Yes, okay. You can do the pixel mapping calibration right here, and then it just gives you some basic instructions on how to swipe in from the left or right or bottom to get some of the menus when you've got the touch screen, and like this. See, I'm swiping from the bottom. I'm going to swipe from the right. That doesn't seem to do anything, but swiping from the bottom definitely makes a difference. And here's the zoom in, zoom out. You can see the lens is moving when I use the zoom little button, which you can do on the lens itself. On the left-hand side of the lens, you've got this thing right here, which does the exact same thing as the little trigger. It's nice to have that kind of with both fingers, no matter how you're holding the camera. Back to the back of the screen, you've got that touch screen. You know, we're going to have to really dig into this more. I don't really know how to use this camera all that well. I've got to learn it too. But you can see the menus. This is the brand new menu system with the ZV-e10 Mark II, so it's going to be different than the original E10, and that's a big upgrade for a lot of people. If you switch, watch this. So if I'm on photo mode and I go, that's photo mode right there. If I flip the switch on the top to video mode, the menu changes to video mode too. So that's how you get to the video settings versus the photo settings. You've got to switch the mode of the camera, and the settings menu will change based on that. The little wheel is nice, the jog wheel that works for changing the settings there and selecting what you want to do. You can see the little screen that flips out there is super nice. Oh, this is kind of cool too, and this is a new feature on the new Mark II. If you turn the camera sideways, the menu turns sideways. This is obviously designed for creators or what have you who are shooting horizontal versus vertical video. The camera is designed now to really shoot both of those modes. So that's it. I'll power the camera off, and that is the new Sony ZV-e10 Mark II.
All right, so there it is. What do you think? I know a lot of people are thinking, well, I want to know what it looks like. Well, here's a little hint for you. You're looking at video from the ZV-e10 Mark II right now, so you can judge it based off of this, and I want to know what your comments are. Are you going to buy this new camera? Are you upgrading from something totally different, or are you upgrading from the E10 to the Mark II because of the new specs? I read every comment. I will respond to every single comment. Go ahead, test me, try me. I swear I do. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. A lot more cool tech videos coming. Tech it before you wreck it. I'm Kirk.